A warm greetings from Rohini College of Engineering and Technology, Department of Chemistry presents a video lecture for Environmental Science and Engineering course. I am Ratika, Associate Professor from Chemistry Department. In this video lecture, we discuss about biodiversity, classification and its important values. After studying this topic, the students can able to define the concepts of biodiversity and define the importance of biological diversity. Let us see what is meant by biodiversity. Biodiversity is defined as the variety and variability of all living organisms and the ecosystem in which they occur. We know that environment is a combination of both biotic and abiotic community. Both communities are depends upon each other and influencing one another. So at a particular ecosystem there is a varieties of species. That varieties are mentioned as biodiversity. Everyone should know that our biodiversity is very essential for the existence of all type of living things in the earth crust. Particularly it is very important for human life. Our human life depends on plants and animals for our medicinal need, food need, fuel need as well as our industrial need also. Our economical status also mainly depends upon the forest biodiversity and aquatic biodiversity. So in these two ecosystems consist of biodiversity rich. Varieties of species are present in these two type of ecosystems. Okay, so these ecosystems helps to enhance our economical growth. So due to the tremendous increasing in human population, lack of awareness among the people, our biodiversity becomes gradually decreases. Due to the collection of drugs for pharmaceutical company, the many medicinal plant species becomes extinct. Similarly, our activities like the mining activities, illegal mining, logging, salinity, so that type of problems also destroying our tropical forest. Let us see the classifications of biodiversity. Biodiversity is generally classified into three types. One is genetic diversity, species diversity and ecosystem diversity. Let us see one by one. Genetic diversity. A species with different genetic characteristic is known as subspecies or genera. A species with different genetic characteristics is known as subspecies or genera. Within the individual species, there are number of varieties which are slightly differ from one another. These differences are due to difference in the combination of genes. We know that genes are the basic units of hereditary information transmitted from one generation into another generation. For example, the varieties of rice. All rice varieties belongs to the species Rhiza sativa. But there are thousands of rice varieties which shows variation at the genetic level due to changes differs in their size, shape, color, cost and its nutrient content. Second one is species diversity. A discrete group of organisms of the same kind is known as species. Species diversity is the diversity between different species. For example, the total number of living species in the earth are measured only about 20 million, out of which only 1.5 million species are found and given scientific names. The species like apple, mango, grapes, wheat, rice, so they are generally called as plant species. But in every plant or every grain items there is a lot of variations. So commonly it is called as a species. Similarly, the lion, tiger, elephant, deer are generally called as an animal species. But in individually, the lion family also consists of many variations, many varieties. Okay, so species diversity is nothing but the species, a discrete group of organisms of the same kind is known as species diversity. Then the third one is the ecosystem diversity. An ecosystem is a set of life forms which interact with one another and with the non-living elements. Every natural ecosystem depends upon the human activity. Agricultural ecosystem depends upon human activity for their existence and maintenance. The diversity at the ecological level or habitat level is known as ecosystem diversity. Example, river ecosystems. A fish can survive in all type of aquatic ecosystems like river, pond, falls, ocean, marine, etc. But based on the habitat, the fish are differ from one another due to its appearance, taste, its physical property, everything. Okay, so based on the habitat level, the species are differ from one another. That is called as a ecosystem diversity. Okay. Let us see the values of biodiversity. The basic needs of human beings are commonly fulfilled by the species and the ecosystems. World economy mainly depends upon main factors such as forest, grassland, agriculture and marine. People use these as a raw material for manufacturing their products. The value of biodiversity is classified into two types. One is direct value and another one is indirect value. The values like consumptive and productive values are come under direct value. That is, the values are concerned with the satisfaction received directly. The nature products are consumed directly without passing through a market. That is called as a direct value. For example, the marine animals which are useful to people for as a food. Similarly, trees are used as a fuel in village areas. So these biodiversity products are directly consumed. So that values are called as direct values. Similarly, the values like ethical value, aesthetic, social, optional values are come under indirect value. Okay, let us see one by one. First one is the consumptive use value. Consumptive use value. So these are the direct use values where the biodiversity products are harvested and consumed directly. The examples are food, drug and fuel. A large number of wild animals and plants are consumed by human beings as food. Nearly 80 to 90% of our food crops have been used only from tropical wild plants. The molasses, spiders and wild herbivores are consumed by many tribal and non-tribal communities in India. Similarly, drugs. Around 70% of our modern medicines are derived from plant and their extract. 20,000 plant species are believed to be used in medicinally, particularly in the traditional systems of Unani, Ayurveda and Siddha. For example, Germany alone uses more than 2500 species of plants for medicinal purpose in homeopathy and other systems of medicines. In India, we use 3000 plant species in Ayurveda, homeopathy and Unani systems of medicines. According to research, about 85% of our global community use plants for their primary health care. The life-saving drugs like quinine, which is used to cure malaria. Similarly, in the reserpine, which is used to cure hypertension. Penicillin used to cure antibiotic, and morphine, which is used as a painkiller. These medicines are mainly extracted from plant origins. The peepal tree leaves, trunk, roots are used as effective medicines for curing fever, cough, stomach and other skin diseases. About 30 medicines are prepared from neem tree, which is used for stomach ointment, eye irritations, skin diseases and diabetics. Similarly, fuel. The firewoods are directly consumed by villages and tribals. The fossil fuel like coal, petroleum and natural gas are also the products of fossilized biodiversity. So these biodiversity products are directly consumed for the betterment of human beings is known as a consumptive use value. The second one is the productive use value. Biodiversity products have obtained a commercial value. These products are marketed and sold. These products may be derived from the animals and plant species. For example, the silk derived from silkworm, the wool from sheep, musk from musk deer, dust from elephant, leather from all animals, food from fish and other animals. So these products are marketed in order to gain the profit. These products are marketed and sold. Similarly, many industries are depends upon the productive use values of biodiversity. For example, the rice accounts for 22% of the cropped area and cereals accounts for 39% of cropped area. That is, the financial value of wild species is important to the economics of many nations. Oil sealed production also helped in saving large amount of foreign exchange spent on importing edible oils. Next one is ethical value. Ethical value is otherwise called as existence value. Ethical value is otherwise called as existence value. The social value otherwise called as non-consumptive use value. Let us see one by one. The first one is the social value. Social values are otherwise known as non-consumptive use value. So, social value of the biodiversity refers to the bioresources which are used to the society. The values are associated with social life, religion and spiritual aspects of the people. So, we are worshipping some of the plants as holy plants like tulasi, peepal, lotus. Similarly, we are worshipping some animals as holy animals like cow, snake, bull, peacock. So, these products are related to our spiritual aspects of the peoples. Okay, so these values are called as social values. Then next one is ethical value. Ethical values are otherwise called as existence value. The ethical value means the species may or may not be used, but its existence in nature gives us pleasure. Ethical value is related with religious as well as our cultural basis. For example, the river Ganga is considered as a holy river. Vembu, Tulasi, Vengai are some of the trees worshipped by Tamilans. Even though we are not yet derive any byproducts from kangaroo, zebra and giraffe, we feel the presence of these wild animals in the earth crust gives happiness to us. So these values are called as ethical values. The next one is aesthetic value. The beautiful nature of plant and animals protect the biodiversity. The various gifts of nature like the vast land, flowing sea, flora and fauna of both land and sea not only supply us food, but it also boosts up when our minds are in the state of depression. The pleasant music of wild birds, color of the butterfly, flowers, various colors, the refreshing fragrance of wild flowers, peacocks with wonderful color, and deers, which are more important for their aesthetic value. As we are bound to lead a mechanical life today, the nature given us the mind of tranquil and offer new spirit to us. The most important aesthetic value of biodiversity is ecotourism. The people from far place spend a lot of time and money to visit the beautiful areas where they can enjoy the aesthetic value of biodiversity. This type of tourism is known as ecotourism. So our economical growth also depends upon our ecotourism also. Then the next value is option value. Option values are the potential of biodiversity that are presently unknown and need to be known. The option value of biodiversity suggests that any species may be proved to be a valuable species after some day. The growing biotechnology field is searching a species which is used to cure cancer and AIDS disease. Medicinal plants and herbs are very important role play an important role for our Indian economical growth. Okay, so these are the very important values of biodiversity. Thank you for listening.